Hello everyone, Andy here, coming to you live from your own ears, I guess. Warhammer Championship reveals gave us no rules, obviously, we didn't expect them, so we've got to discuss Season 3 before it hits, and I can't farm speculation ideas. Also, I've started playing World of Warcraft again, so this needs to be a quick one. I wanted to get cerebral and mechanical with you all, if you will, and consider the implications of Guard being brought to an open board and how that might change the game. Why do I think Guard might come to the open board? Because aside from, Valrak seeing pictures of models third hand, Kill Team is an airtight, leak-proof system. We have no idea what the Killzone rules for the next season might be. What have we guessed? Jump. Wow. Right? And so our only possible guess is taking the one not terrain-based rule from Into the Dark and putting it in the open. How would it change the game? Okay, so very quickly, what is Guard? It's Overwatch from XCOM. There you go. More details later, along with the top-down camera examples and shuffling of models, if I can be bothered to set my board up. Anyway, I'd like to give you a quick subscriber-only benefit, and that is, of course, a big circle hello. Such wholesome very well. If you want to qualify for that circle hello in the next video, like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that great stuff. For the comment, tell me what you think about Guard coming to open, good or bad. Oh, and if you really like these immaculate glass half dead vibes, glass half vibes if you will, consider supporting me on Patreon. You get a cool colored name in my Discord, access to a members only area there too, and at certain tiers get digital goodies like data cards, templates, and my objective marker files to print out for yourself, as well as channel updates and extra unboxings, all that great stuff. Okay, let's take it deep. The rules, I mean, of course. First things first, before we get into the overall game effect, let's get emotional. And as you know, my emotions are exclusively positive. I feel that Guard is really cool. Overwatch is a cool mechanic to try and balance out number imbalance. I think it does a decent job, honestly, and acts as a very cool puzzle piece as people start to try and work out which of their operatives they have to get out of the way, and in how many moves before knowing they take a hot load to the face. But Guard feels like a decision for the active player as well as the opposing player, and you know how big a fan I am of player skill expressions. Although actually you aren't yet, because that's the next video I'm doing. So look, listen out for my favourite rules in Kill Team soon. Oh wait, I've already done that. I wrote this video before Time is Weird. But yes, a player decision point for both players is a good thing. Mechanically it makes sense, and thematically I'm a capital G gamer, and so anything that makes it feel more like XCOM is just going to be a big win. And Guard is much more like XCOM Overwatch, Okay, so let's briefly cover the mechanics of Guard. It costs you 1 APL and you basically get placed into active Overwatch. The key here being that you can choose to interrupt an opponent's activation. If they finish any of their actions in a position where you can shoot them, you can choose to take your Overwatch shot early. So, they may have 2 APL and normally they want to move and dash. Well, now they move and before dashing you get to take a shot. Or they move to get line of sight on you, and then before they shoot, you interrupt and shoot before they do. If they live, they continue their activation. Simple stuff. So how does that currently work in Into the Dark? Well, there are 5 uses. APL Waster, Melee Blocker, Into Room Cover, Out of Room Cover, Stalling. Relatively obvious, but APL Waster is just dumb because you don't have much else to do. Melee Blocker is when you expect or want to discourage a charge and you suck in melee. Everyone thinks twice before charging a guarding Pathfinder, right? Into Room Cover is when you are having a room standoff and you don't want to get in first, so you stay outside of the room and go on guard. Out of Room Cover is when you are in the room and want to discourage someone from entering. You know the room. Finally, stalling is when you already have a shot lined up on someone, but anticipate a better target, and so instead of taking the shot, you guard and wait to see if the better shot comes up. Because with guard, just to clarify, you are interrupting the enemy activation but you don't have to shoot the activating enemy. You can take any guard shot you want. It's a relatively rare occurrence, but if you have existing shots on guarded models, you can do that. Still, only one Overwatch per activation, but potentially useful. How does that change the game? Well, I have no doubt that a lot of you beautiful viewers have played plenty of ITD. So you tell me, how often do you guard? Is it game defining for you? So I'm going to lay out my issues with guard, then confirm that none of those problems are with guard but with non-reciprocal shooting, and then conclude that guard is not just thematically cool on open but also mechanically sound. We call this conclusion shopping and is the opposite of journalism. It's an opinion piece, you're welcome. I want to visualize my most common intention with guard, and so we'll go to the top down camera for some hot mini action. Only type of action I can give, if you get me. And that gives us 3 dick jokes in the video. Excellent, excellent. Hope you've all caught them, much like I catch. No, not going to say that. Did you catch them all like King Henry? Oh, okay. Sorry, I actually had an STD joke written in the script. I was just going off script there. What am I doing? Right, when I find myself wanting to guard, it's all based around the very predictable room sizes. As Into the Dark is so uniform, I suspect we've all been faced with this situation, but if you're not au fait with Into the Dark, let's see what happens. You've got 2 teams wanting to push in. I find myself not having the APL to push, and so instead I want to wait for my opponent. Activations come around and moves have to be made. Okay, I know it's too risky to push in, so logically I hang back and guard. Makes total sense, except this almost never works. Due to obscuring and the potential for non-reciprocal shooting, if I do hang back and guard, all that's happening is I end up doing nothing or getting shot. There are almost no spots on Into the Dark where going on guard outside of a room actually allows you to shoot into the room if you go on guard first. If we're up close on engage, the enemy moves over circle from their wall and gets a non-reciprocal shot on my guy. Or if I stay circle away from my wall trying to make that obscured shot into the room, I'm either cock blocking myself by not covering the entire objective, or I'm out far enough that they can still shoot me. This defeats the purpose of guard in almost every situation. Right. Let's say you've moved into the room, tapped the point, and you go on guard. Great, love it, super thematic. Nope. Non-reciprocal says, get out of here, cool theme and common sense. You've fallen into my trap and now I'm guaranteed to not allow you to shoot me, but I get to shoot you. Therefore, guard as an action on Into the Dark is almost never worth it. Hot takes I wrote in this script 3 months ago, great. No, it's a trap again. It's a beginner trap. It's a punishment with very little reward for its intended purpose. Okay, so clearly I dislike the interaction of guard with non-reciprocal shooting. How would open kill zones fix that? Haha, no, I have led you down a dark alley and bamboozled you because I don't mind non-reciprocal. You fell for it, you fool. You followed those breadcrumbs and got Hansel and Gretel mate. Baited. So what is my issue? Due to how the obscuring rule works, having no heavy terrain on the objective means that every single objective in Into the Dark suffers from the same issue. Whoever goes in first takes the hits with no room for recourse. Non-reciprocal shooting removes player agency in Into the Dark. However, with the current philosophy of terrain placement or on terrain placement for outdoor maps, we almost always have heavy on objectives and less rigid and uniform movement patterns on fixed maps. This allows for less obvious obscuring shots and easier to avoid obscuring shots. And you will often have a chance to be on an objective and circle from the heavy terrain yourself, potentially obscuring you. But once again, this is all a red herring, none of this is relevant. You fell for one of the classic blunders. Something about a land war in Asia. Princess Bride's a great movie, by the way. I'm going to watch it again soon. It's really all about charge distances. You see, on Into the Dark, you can't allow your enemy to pile up by the doorway without pushing in to take the point, because these rooms are sized almost exactly right that you can charge from one doorway to another. The size of the room is what ruins the guard action in combination with the threat of non-reciprocal. If the rooms were 3 inches larger, Into the Dark would work with guard. Or if every room had a central piece of heavy terrain. And open, well, or light, it doesn't have to be heavy. I don't know why I wrote heavy. And open has what it needs that guard would be great. So this has been a kind of very long and dense video focusing on a very niche rules mechanic, which is pretty much the opposite of how to get views. So for the 3 people that made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big square hello. Nothing helps out a small channel like mine more than just watching the whole video. So thank you. I won't drag this ending out, so thanks for watching. Stay gangster, keep pimping, A-Town down, Jason Derulo on the trumpets or something, Rihanna on the umbrella. I'm giving off serious boomer energy right now, so be kind and stay positive. Hashtag polite gang rise up, hashtag blessed.